Hi, welcome at my first running video. If you want to start to run, you definitely need to watch this video. If you watched my previous videos, I want to say welcome back. Very happy to see you again. But if you're new, my name is Kim. I'm a Dutch girl living in Mexico, and I'm documenting my life every Monday, and it's about my everyday life. I definitely love making these videos, but I started to notice that my videos were getting more and more about running. So that's why I've decided to make separate videos about running and take you guys along into my marathon training, for example, because that one is in 6.5 weeks. But I also want to help you to start running because let's be honest, you either hate it or love it. And I think we all hate it when we started running. But first I will take you guys along on the boring part, which is me talking about how I started running. I've always loved exercising and working out, but running was never really my thing. I never saw myself as a runner up until now. And even if you looked at me, you couldn't tell that I was liking movement because I was overweight, drinking a lot, and not prioritizing sleep. I thought I was doing well, but I definitely was not. Everything changed when I stopped drinking. I quit on February 2nd of last year. So as I'm filming this video, I'm a little bit more than a year sober right now. And between you and me, it feels awesome. I didn't lose weight immediately, but I started waking up more energized. I started waking up earlier, which was amazing. And I felt better. I didn't have those depressing feelings anymore, those feelings that I think lots of women have, but we have no idea why. That became better and better. And with this new energy, I started to push myself more in my workouts. And for the very first time, I started to see some progress. I also started to change my diet. At first, I was doing a strictly carnivore diet in which I only ate meat, butter, and eggs. And I lost a lot of weight very fast. It was amazing. I was burning fat like crazy. But for the long term, me personally didn't feel like I could maintain this kind of diet. Also, mentally, it became a bit harder because I like more than meat, eggs, and butter. So now I'm doing a more whole food kind of approach where I try to eat as little processed food as I possibly can. But yeah, I do like pastries and cakes, like a lot, but I will save those for the Sundays after a long run. So how did I end up signing up for a marathon, which is 42 kilometers, while I didn't even like running, or I was just doing 5 kilometers? At first, I wasn't even thinking about doing a longer distance. I was just running the 5K and writing down in my phone how long it took me to run this 5K, and that was it. But it all changed when I met one of my neighbors here in Mexico, who happens to be a marathon runner. And fun thing happened. One day she told me she was running at 6:15. And I was thinking like, wow, that's really early. And then she messaged me, see you at 7:30. So I was thinking, why is she telling me she's going at 6:15 but seeing me at 7:30? And that was the first time I realized she wasn't talking about the actual time. She was talking about pace, the number of minutes it will take you to run a kilometer. And up until that point, I'd never heard about pace. I had no clue. So call it stupid, but this little conversation completely changed how I saw running. I finally understood how to track my running and, even more important, how to improve it. Once I've decided to take the running seriously, I needed a plan. And I actually got mine through ChatGPT. I just put in what my longest distance was, how long it took me, and what my goal would be. And having a structured plan made a huge difference. It gave me direction, helped me push myself without overtraining, and the plan made sure I was improving every week. Of course, it wasn't always easy. I bumped into a few things that made the running difficult at first. For example, fuel, eating before training. I used to do intermediate fasting for a while, and I always thought it would be better to go do exercise without fuel, so fast it. But that's not the case. Your body needs energy to move. Even during training, your body needs a bit of fuel. So where I ran more than 10 kilometers and felt exhausted and it was a very hard job to do, I now know that I can take, for example, gels. I know these kinds of things could be very new to you, but eventually you will start to know when you need to fuel yourself in a run. So these were amazing. It took me a year to understand that these things exist and how they work. Or, for example, you could take these candies called energy chews. Also an amazing way to fuel yourself during a run and go even faster or longer. I could also experience like a very bad headache after a run. Like that bad that I had to sleep the rest of the day, lay down, couldn't touch my phone anymore. And after a while I understood that it was because of dehydration and lack of electrolytes. In a country as the Netherlands, where it's almost always cold and rainy, you're not sweating like you're sweating here in Mexico. So your body is draining out all the electrolytes, magnesium, minerals that you need. So it is in Mexico that I started to learn about electrolytes and how important they are for you to keep your body hydrated. So that was a bit about my running journey, about how I started running and how it went from bad to addicting, because let's be honest, you either hate it or love it, but when you love it, you get hooked. You get so addicted and you want more and longer and faster, and that's amazing. So to help you out more, I have some tips, 8 to be exact, that could help you start running. My first tip from me to you is get out of your head. Running is such a mental game. Your mind will start to make excuses to make you stop running. But just get up, put on your running shoes and just go. And trust me, no one is judging you for running. They're probably admiring you for it. Never ever forget, your body is stronger than your mind. Running is a mental game, but don't give up. Your body can do more than your mind thinks. Second, start slow and steady. Don't race yourself into this running journey. Start at a pace where it's still easy for you to have a conversation, for example. You could also alternate running and walking and just ease into this. Once you start improving, you can speed up your pace a little bit, where you can still hold a conversation, but it is just a little bit more difficult. The next thing I want you to consider is to avoid injuries. One of the biggest mistakes beginners make is that they are doing too much too soon. A good thing to remember is to not increase your weekly kilometers by more than 10%. So for example, if you ran 20 kilometers in 1 week, your next week shouldn't be more than 22 kilometers. Also, strength training is key to avoid injuries because it will strengthen your runner's muscles. Also, never ever skip your warming up. Tip number 4 is to fuel and hydrate your body properly. If you're running more than 10 kilometers, make sure that you have an electrolyte drink and a snack like a banana before you run. Also, during running, you can fuel yourself with, for example, the energy chews or the gels I showed you to maintain your endurance. But remember to eat them slowly because it can be heavy on your stomach. Me, for example, if I take a gel, which is not much, it's just a little pack, it is 32 grams. I eat this over 1 kilometer. So I will eat this in about 6 minutes to really digest. I will all link these in the description if you're interested in how to fuel your body. The next thing that is important to me and I want to tell you is Take care of your headphones. Music for me is key during a run. I can run without, but I really don't want to. And at first I tried AirPods, like everyone else, but they just won't stick in my ear. They will fall out immediately, so we are not a match. Then I had these huge headphones with amazing sounds, and it was very loud. I had my own party in my head, but I was sweating so much and these things were getting so dirty, so not an option any longer. But now I found it. I tried Shocks and I'm never doing anything else than this. It will stick perfectly. It will not slide off. That's impossible. And the thing is with these things is the music is good. You can hear it as loud as you want, but because it's not in your ear, you can still hear your surroundings. So when I'm running with my husband, with Yes, is when he has his earbuds with noise cancelling, he's yelling at me, but I can totally understand him. I can understand him fine. So I hope one day he will buy the Shocks too, because if I try to tell him something during a run, he's not hearing me. So Shocks, to me, is the best option for running, if I may say. My next tip is find yourself a run club or a running buddy, because running alone is great, but running together with someone could be a game changer. If you can, train with someone who is faster than you, because it will push you to improve yourself. Honestly, my biggest progress happened when I started running with my neighbor. She's a marathon runner. She's amazing. And she learned me where to focus on, to hold my pace, and to just keep getting faster. And with that being said, tip number 7, sign up for a race. Having a goal keeps you motivated. Whether it is a 5K, 10K, 21 marathon, signing up for a race can give you structure and accountability, because you've paid for this race, so you better work. And when all the work is done, take your recovery seriously. Tip number 8. Running is tough on your body, so rest is just as important as the training itself. Plan your recovery days, stretch, and most important, prioritize your sleep. Because when you sleep is when you grow, and it will prevent you from a burnout or injuries. So these are my tips from me to you, and I want to say I am not an expert, I'm not a trainer or a nutritionist. I'm just here talking from my own experience, my own struggles, and trying to help you start running or help you to enjoy running more. Because I don't think I talked about a runner's high yet, but honestly, when you're on a runner's high, that's amazing. It helps you to improve, to get better, to get faster, to run longer. Running is so much fun, and I really hope you get to enjoy it as much as I do. Tell me in the comments if you're a beginner or if you are training for something. Please let me know. I would love to connect about running. Next week's video is about a week full of training, but also a half marathon in Los Cabos. We are not training specifically for the half marathon, but the half marathon will be a training for the marathon in 6.5 weeks. So I hope you like that. I think that's very exciting. I personally cannot wait to be there. So I want to thank you for watching this. Like and subscribe if you're not already, and I really hope to see you next week.